Today's adventure takes us to Hollywood, yes, that Hollywood in California, where we're at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and you can see behind me a massive mausoleum in this cemetery, one of many beautiful monuments in this cemetery. It has about 61,000 graves, many stars here. And not only that, this cemetery is very alive. It's very active. We have a pond back here with ducks in it, we have turtles in it, we have swans in it. There's a lawn over on this side where people are currently doing yoga. Just a lot of activity here, people walking, people running. It seems more of like a celebration than a cemetery in a traditional sense that I've been to. But today we're gonna find some graves of some stars, both music, movie stars, directors. So come join me as we explore Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Welcome back everybody for another video. This time Hollywood, California. Look at this wonderful mausoleum, pyramid shaped. Don't know who it belongs to, but right across from this, and you know, we see this stuff. There's many videos on this stuff, but I haven't created one yet. Romanian film director there, and of course we have Johnny Ramone. Scott on Tape, another YouTuber, much less famous than me. Just kidding, much more famous than me. Films a lot in the cemetery, and I watched a couple of his videos on this cemetery just so I can kind of see where everything's at. Johnny Ramone, of course, of the Ramones. Beautiful area. The water here. Nice lake. This one from Steve Golan, 1955 to 2019. The movie is over, but the story lives on. Here we have the grave of director Tony Scott, very famous director, extremely famous director. Top Gun he filmed, amongst many other. Here's some here. Spy Game, Enemy of the State, Crimson Tide, Top Gun, Days of Thunder. That's Tony Scott. Very nice grave there, and right next to him is none other than Chris Cornell. There's Chris right there. Grew up in his era, definitely. Soundgarden fame, Audio Slave, Temple of the Dog. Never saw him in concert, but he was one of my favorite artists while growing up, and unfortunately he ended his life. He hung himself in a hotel room in Detroit back in 2017. Suffered from depression most of his life. And then right alongside Tony Scott here is Elena Hutchins. She is remembered. She was the person that was killed on the set of Rust, where a gun accidentally had a live round in it, and Alex Baldwin shot her, and this is where she lays. Beautiful day here in Hollywood, California. Of course, they probably say that most days, right? Irene Guadagno, Mama Irene. Not only was she perfect, she was Italian. Remarkable statue of her. Really wonderful. It's the grave of Anton Yelchin. Died way too young. Up and coming actor. Unfortunately, he's working on his vehicle and it fell on him and ended his life short. Some beautiful mausoleums here, of course. Cuts is the name on that. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Cohn family. Joan and Harry. See what we have in the mausoleum here. Oleg Vidov, Russian actor. Here's Anne Heche. Her life was cut way too short. And we have Mickey Rooney. Very, very prominent actor for many years. Over 61,000 graves in this cemetery. Fantastic monuments in here. Beautiful area. But we're going to make our way across this pond and visit a couple more grave sites. That of Don Adams, and somebody may have also heard of Burt Reynolds. So let's make our way to the other side of the pond and we will visit them. On my way to check out Don Adams and Burt Reynolds, I saw this one, Howie Pyro. Fantastic stone to him. Bass player in a lot of punk rock bands. He was also the bass player in Danzig for a while there. But I thought this was just a fantastic monument to him. This is an interesting cemetery out here because they have a lot of activities. I think they have movie nights out in this cemetery. Right now, going on not too far from me, is that it looks like they're having a yoga class. They have a lawn area, which is interesting. I mean, this cemetery is definitely a tourist attraction, and it's one of those places that people like to come to, and they should. It's a beautiful cemetery. But let's see what we can find here. I feel like I'm getting closer to Don Adams' grave. It should be over here somewhere. Let's see if we can find that. We are on the other side of the pond. Things are a little bit uneven. Oh, look at this. Look at the goose. Those are some, or swans rather, not goose. Look at the swans. That's a large size bird. Very large bird. All right. Let's move along here and see what we can see. All right, we come up here to a grave of, I don't think I need to introduce this grave of Burt Reynolds. Right here overlooking the pond. So Burt Reynolds, popular actor in the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s. There he is here. Known for his roles in Deliverance in 1972, The Longest Yard in 1974, and The Bandit in 1977. At one point, he was one of the most famous actors in Hollywood, if not the famous. He was born in Lansing, Michigan in 1936. He attended Florida State University on a football scholarship. Unfortunately, his sophomore year, he was injured. He was injured on the field and in a car accident, injured both knees, and was not successful at coming back in football. So he enrolled in Palm Beach Junior College in Florida and was cast as the lead role in a play called Outward Bound, where he won the Florida State Drama Award for his performance. And while working some odd jobs, he got his big break in a TV series called Riverboat in 1959. So the guy wanted to play football, didn't work out. Suddenly he's acting and being successful at it. And of course you hear on the other side of the pond leaf blowers going. They are doing yard maintenance here already at 9 a.m. So anyways, his breakout role was that in Gunsmith, where he was cast as a blacksmith, Quint Asper. Didn't watch Gunsmith. I was a little too young. That show was off the air by the time I was born. His career did begin to decline in the mid-'80s. He did have a couple of different roles, but his popularity started to decline. And he went primarily into directing after his career started to decline. And he was making about $10 million a year for a while there, but unfortunately his business dealings, he invested badly and went into bankruptcy. 2018, he died of a heart attack while living in a friend's home in Jupiter, Florida. I don't think he had too much money when he passed away, and he was cremated, and then several years later he was buried here in this cemetery. Kind of the rise and fall of Burt Reynolds, if you will. Very sad. There's some beautiful statues there. And that brings us to Donald James Yarmy, right here, better known as Don Adams. April 13th, 1923 to September 25th, 2005. Now, he is best remembered for Agent Maxwell Smart in the 1960s TV comedy Get Smart. Don, he dropped out of high school, worked as a theater usher and some other jobs for a while. Joined the Marines in 1941. In August 1942, he participated in the battle, in the Pacific Theater, in some of the battles there. And he contracted blackwater fever, which was something that has to do with malaria. And he spent more than a year in a hospital recovering. And here's Inspector Gadget there. He was also the voice of Inspector Gadget. But he spent more than a year recovering, returned to the Marines as a drill sergeant. And in 1954, after 11 years after getting out of the Marines, or 9 years after getting out of the Marines, he had a stand-up comedy act and appeared on the Steve Allen Show 11 times. He was cast in Get Smart in 1965 because he was already under contract with NBC, who picked up the show after ABC refused it. Because of his success in the role as Maxwell Smart, he had a hard time getting other roles after that. And in 2005, he died from lymphoma and lung infection at the age of 82. And here he lies in Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It's a beautiful, it's not a mausoleum, but it's a monument or memorial here. Beautiful life-size statue depicting Jesus. And the names: Mary Lyons, 1918 to 1990, R.I.P. And on the other side we have William Lyons, 1917 to 1990. They died months apart from each other, R.I.P. Rest in peace is odd because I've never really, this is one of the first times I've seen R.I.P. on an actual real tombstone, aside from, Halloween fake tombstone. You'll see rest in peace spelled out once in a while, but I've never seen R.I.P. Here's the grave of Cecil B. DeMille, famous Hollywood director. Right here on the right-hand side. It's going to be one of those days where the ground crew is going to be following us around. That's okay. It's a beautiful day here in Hollywood. What a beautiful monument here. Melitonian, I think is the name. Sure, I probably butchered that. Beautiful statue. Then we have Griffith, the Griffith obelisk here. Now Griffith, prominent name, Griffith Observatory they have here, Griffith Park. Not sure what he did. We have Harold Griffith, Van Griffith, Constance F. Griffith, and Helen Griffith. And Griffith Jenkins Griffith. But this monument obelisk is probably 40 feet tall. Beautiful, beautiful obelisk. Now there are hundreds and hundreds of famous people in this cemetery. I'm not too much into, I'll watch movies and shows and I know actors and stuff, but I'm not really into entertainment a whole lot. I thought this was wonderful. 1861, 1865. F.A. Whitehead, United States Navy. 1943, 1921, 1843 to 1921. And his wife Mary Obviously, he must have been in the Civil War. Thank you for your service, sir. So what I wanted to bring to this cemetery is obviously show you some of the more famous ones, and also just show you some of these wonderful ones that are maybe not seen on videos as much as some of the other famous ones. So yeah, I'm not going to show you all the famous people because I don't know all the famous people. Look at this, Mike Szymanski. That is really a cool monument with the dogs. Looks like he might still be living, but he's got his plot set up, ready to go. As we're walking along the pond here, to give you perspective, you zoom in here, straight ahead that's Burt Reynolds. So we're on the other side of the pond from Burt Reynolds right now. Just walking around, seeing what we have here. We're gonna have to go across this bridge to see. There's a very large mausoleum. And this is interesting too. There's a sarcophagus. I don't usually see that very much. Sarcophagus. Right here. It looks like they must have built this out from the pond. I think this is all new. And they have lights here to light up the sarcophagus. Scott Minard. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know who he is, but this looks rather new, and that is massive. Here we have some turtles on a rock. So we determined that Scott was an executive at Guggenheim Partners. And now he is here. All right, we're going to go across this bridge. He was what?
A prominent Wall Street money manager.
Look at the turtles. A prominent Wall Street money manager. Look at the turtles. That's pretty neat. I was taking video of the turtles on the rock being fake turtles. Those are not real. I don't think. There is one that's real there. The one in the lower portion is moving, but there are actually turtles in here. How neat. We have folding chairs here. Kind of odd, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Bunch of folding chairs. And a massive mausoleum. Huge mausoleum. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Here we have James Michael Tyler, died at 59. You might have known him as the character Gunther on the hit TV show Friends. Died very, very young. And then next to him is a young YouTuber Corey Laberie. I don't know. I was not know him, but he had over 300,000 followers, which is a few more than me. He died. He died on his birthday, 25th birthday. He died. So I'll have to do some more research on him. Another tall obelisk. That one's probably about 30 feet tall, maybe taller. Beautiful cemetery. It's interesting to see Jewish graves next to Christian graves. You don't see that in Chicago. You have separate cemeteries, but not here in Hollywood Forever. They're all mixed together. This one is striking. Blanchard is the name. Look at this. What a beautiful, beautiful statue. Wow. Very realistic. Nothing on the back, but very, very realistic statue. What a remarkable cemetery. Well, I hope everyone, you enjoyed this walk through Hollywood Forever Cemetery today. Massive cemetery, more stars than I can count here. Obviously only got to a couple of them, and that was the plan. I don't know where they're all at, and they're all mixed in here, and it's just a massive cemetery. So thank you for joining me today, and as always, until next time, keep exploring.